Evening all. So welcome everyone to episode one of Shark Attack Case Files. So today we're going to jump straight in with one of the most infamous attacks you will ever find. Is of course the Byron Bay attack, which took place in Australia. We all know where Australia is. If we scroll in, we've got New South Wales here, Queensland, and Byron Bay is actually just in the north of the top of New South Wales, just near the Gold Coast. So if we scroll in, this is Byron Bay here, and this is a set of rocks or a reef, if you call it a reef, the Julian rocks. And then this is actually part of a wider nature reserve where the cold water current meets the warm water current coming down from the north, and you basically get that convergence of cold water and warm water, and it creates a nutrient-rich scenario. So there's an abundance of wildlife in this area. You know, many species of fish, birds, turtles, plants, whatever you name it, they're all there. But this particular area is quite rare for the species of shark we're going to talk about in this attack. So let's just look at some statistics. So these are global statistics here for great white shark fatalities, because this particular attack involves a great white shark. So of the known fatalities recorded, so these are documented fatalities, so God only knows of the undocumented ones, but on the case files, the documented great white shark fatalities globally is 1,416 global great white shark fatalities, and strangely enough, 454 of those fatalities took place in Australia. So that is a third of the global statistics come from Australian waters, yeah, for fatalities. And New South Wales has 101 of those. And the first recorded fatality in Australia took place in 1791, and the last one actually was very recent. 2021 was the last documented fatality. So this attack took place way back in 1993, so many years ago, and it involved a male, John Ford, who was 31 at the time, and he was undertaking scuba diving activity around the rock and the reef area. And I believe at the time of attack there was at least 30 people in the water, so there was different sets of boats, just people going in and out of the boats, climbing on the rocks. So there was quite a few people in the water, a lot of activity, a lot of splashing. And the main activity there, as I say, is just scuba diving, swimming with the turtles, the fish, just taking pictures, going about their business. And they were there quite early, so they were in the water at roughly 9:30 in the morning. And the water depth around the reef area varied between sort of 4 meters in the shallows, and then it went out a little bit deeper to 20-25 meters. So the different water depths. And the moon cycle at the time was a full moon. Yeah, and the injury was pretty much an instant fatality. So we'll get into it in a little bit more detail. And the shark involved was a female great white shark, large shark, 5.5 meters in length. So yeah, close to the 6 meters. So you're talking, yeah, a good, I don't know what that is in feet. I just rock back to the first slide. So yeah, 18. It's an 18 footer. So yeah, close to 20 feet. Yeah. So this particular picture you can see here, if you've got the visual, is this is the area around the reef. So you can see there's divers in the water here. So this reef does attract up to 50,000 visitors a year. So it's very popular area, very common activity. And this particular fatality is the only fatality that has happened or occurred at these rocks, and it's the only one since. So definitely very rare. So basically, what went down is John and Deborah Ford were like, on their honeymoon, so they'd only been married 2 weeks, and they'd entered the water in the morning, just swimming around, looking at the different things, corals, fish, I imagine, yeah, just taking it all in, having a good time. And then John noticed a large shark swimming towards them, and then at the last second he managed to push his partner out of the way. This is according to eyewitnesses. He pushed his partner out of the way to avoid the shark. The shark was heading straight for her, and then the shark hit him and then just grabbed onto him, took him down, and I would imagine that he died instantly because he was hit with such ferocity. It was definitely, yeah, the shark was just looking to kill him basically and consume him. So as the shark took him down, bang, he'd been hit, he'd been taken down. The shark started to basically consume the guy, and then Deborah basically broke to the surface in hysterics, and the shark was still circling. And then one of the professional divers in the area, Sally Gregory, she dived into the water, managed to pull Deborah out of the water. Then in the meantime, another one of the divers, a guy called Jeff Bickerig, he jumped in the water with his equipment on, just absolutely insane, crazy guy, complete nutcase. He jumped in the water to try and help John, but too little, too late. The shark had actually consumed him, so that this guy got out of the water, nothing he could do. And obviously everyone around the area in complete disarray, shock, because as I said, I think there was a good 30 people in the water, and a lot of these people witnessed it. And obviously afterwards they had to come to terms with what would happen. So directly after the attack, the some local fishermen managed to actually hook the shark. The shark stayed in the area after it had consumed John, and they managed to bait it and they hooked it. But the shark actually was such a large shark, an 18-footer, and close to 6 meters. It dragged them, or pulled this fishing boat 6 kilometers out to shore. And as it was pulling them along the way, it was spitting up bits of John body parts, and they were collecting them in a bucket just so there was something of this guy to bury. Is that absolutely horrendous stuff? But after an hour and a half struggle, the shark actually got off, but they actually managed to shoot the shark. They popped off some shots in the shark along the way, and there was actually eyewitnesses said that the shark, well, closer up the coast, there was a shark actually floundering in some rocks a little way up the coast, and that they think it was this shark, and that shark did die basically eventually. So it's believed that it did actually succumb to these shots that the fishermen managed to shoot the shark with. And in this particular attack, there was no formal inquest was held. Yeah, it was just just they didn't want to really just draw attention to the attack, so there was no formal inquest. It was just open and shut case, obviously. But yeah, absolutely insane attack, complete tragedy, but very very rare in this area. So it's up in the Gold Coast, very rare do you get fatalities and such large sharks in that area. But it does happen. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that one.